Hi guys, welcome back. People have asked me about how I use my Lectern notebooks, Leuchtturm. Now I know how to say it, Leuchtturm notebooks. So I'm gonna walk you through. This is the current one I'm using. Zoom me out a little bit more so you can see. It's just the dot grid, A5 size, Leuchtturm. It's been beat up. He's been around a little bit, so the yellow got all dingy. So at first when I started this, I was going to use just this book as a book review book. Notes from what I've read. So that's why I have fiction, nonfiction, therapy studies, quotes, and poetry. And then at the beginning, you can see I was doing the little square marks. I don't know why I wrote 81 in the top. Anyway, so I started it with, "It is what you read when you don't have to that determines who you are, who you will be when you can't help it." And I really, really like this quote. Then I just have, yes, I'm a proud member of the NRA. It's me. So then I have I started this in 2016. So I was trying to brush letter at PlannerCon. So I drew a 2016 calendar. I have a goal to read all the Newbery books, so this houses that collection. Like I said, this was going to be a reading notebook for me. Then I wrote a series list. This is the people and series that I've read. So I have like Jen Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum series, Kay Scarpetta, which is Patricia Cornwell, Abby Cooper. If you have not read any of the Psychic Eye series by Victoria Laurie, fantastic. Bella Swan, I read them. I put it in there. I don't even have those books on my shelf anymore. Sister Jane from the Outfox series. So, yeah. And then for some reason I was going to read a lot more, so I left it blank. But these are quotes and stories, and I was just kind of, my notes on the Sea of Tranquility and sections that I liked. And then I was listening to Audible, so I wrote down, the times of stuff I wanted to remember. I went back and wrote those down. Love 2.0. I was going to try meditation. It's not for me right now. My brain goes too far. I can't stop it. So this was like I read in February. I was going to read 7 books, which I did. I do need to finish Happy Hour now. Anyway, so it's just kind of a reading wrap up. It was a reading book. And then in June of 2016, I decided I wanted to change it. I wanted to write quotes and journal and just kind of use this as an everyday book. I was going to grab, they're not handy, but I have I had a journal for me. I had a quote journal. I had poetry journal. I had like a journal. I had all of these different notebooks, and it was overwhelming. So now I have half empty notebooks. Sorry, I'm tired. All over the place. So I wrote that I wanted this to be, and then I started January. So I wrote the books read. January I do My Choice, Glam Plans, Paper and Glam Book Club. And then I joined the Book of the Month Club. And then I wrote some church notes in here. And it was just kind of a catch-all. And then 2017, these are books that I bought that I haven't read yet. I check them off as I've read them. And then in March, so this was only 2 months ago. This was 2 months ago. It was right here. From here. And this is where all I've done since March. So we went to PlannerCon. And I wrote all of those notes down. And then I made my opening and closing procedures for the day. And then 100 things people said about me. And then in April, see, we're supposed to make a list of 100 things about ourselves. I've been working on this since March and I only have 31. So, April, I wrote down rock your handwriting. And then I started, why don't I track my time and do kind of a journal? And so I started rock your handwriting. And that's kind of where I started going with this. And then I did a doodle with me month. And it's kind of evolved from there. Just different, my flower pots, so things that I need to focus on. And then I have more church notes. I'm just kind of walking through this because I don't use this like normal people would, I guess. So I have at the bottom, I was putting my time tracker and then my plan with me, just kind of ideas, my brainstorm. This is kind of my brain dump. So random acts of kindness that I had done, different, and then I was like, but I'm reading a book right now. So I was reading Buffering by Hannah Hart. Fantastic book. And so I started writing those notes. And then I had, I'm trying to work on my lettering. So, and then I got bored. I don't know why, but I looked up my Chinese element, which was funny. 5 is my favorite number. I also love the number 3. I hate the number 2 and 8. 9 is my favorite. That's an OCD number of mine. Is 3 and 9. So anyway, colors, and then I did the Libra, and then Easter. So and then I was reading Leaves of Grass. So it's just kind of a lot. But I was reading Leaves of Grass and buffering at the same time. So that's just kind of how that went. This is when I got the Planner Society box, so I put in the new washies that came with it that day. I started tracking the moon because, honestly, Thursday, like, who drew that as? Seriously? Everyone else is tracking the moon, and now I found it kind of interesting. So these pages I was so proud of. So I don't use it like a normal bullet journal with a to-do list it's mainly to collect my collections and a way of journaling for me that I like, that works for me. So then I started May, and instead I did the whole rock your handwriting here, and then instead of doing time trackers on each page, I just drew a big box. And then I started a mental health tracker. And yeah, so then that's where I am with things. This, I don't know what I was doing. And then this was this week. I'm going to finish Gift from the Sea. And then I thought this was cool. So I started a moon mandala. Mood mandala. So I'm just coloring right now, and then I'll work on layering. The Gifts from the Sea book. These are some quotes that I really liked, and I wanted to practice my lettering. So I don't use these like everybody else with a day for just, this is the book I'm reading now. I don't use them just as a planner. To me, this is my journal, and then I have my A5 planner that I plan in. So I like using it this way. I have every day I write something, whether it's the word of the word of the day, the rock your handwriting, and then so I try to do on one page the rock your handwriting or a prompt, and on the back I write a journal entry for the day. So today was Vivid Dreams, and then I set up next week with my mental health tracker, and then Monday is your name. So hopefully I'll finish this one in May, but that's how I use these. And this will be my second book. So at the beginning of this one, I drew that all by myself. It's not the best, but I was proud. The moment that you feel just possibly you are walking down the street naked, exposing too much of your heart and your mind and what exists on the inside, showing too much of yourself, that is the moment you might be starting to get it right. So I really liked starting each book with a quote. So I've already done some pages in my log. I took, sometimes when we see ourselves as how we see us. We don't necessarily pay attention to or believe how other people see us. But those other people wouldn't see certain things about us if it really wasn't who we were. So I took from my list in my yellow book, I asked 10 people 10 things about me, and then I took the top 10 of those that were repeated out of those 100. I think I got 130 responses back. And I took the top 10 and I just rewrote them over my name. Because these people have never met each other. They've never seen each other. So there's, you know, it's eye-opening that people think this about you that have never met you before. So I wrote those there at the front just so I could have a reference and look back and remember. Then I wrote my ideal day just to kind of outline. And then I thought I'd be cool and write what produce is in season for each winter. Oh, what produce is in season for each season? Sure. So spring and summer. Fall turned out my favorite because then I have in cursive little ones in between. And then I left this page blank, so I tried to fill it with a quote. And then I did my spring cleaning spread, which I'm very proud of. So this is what I'm going to translate into my A5 on to-do lists as I go through. I'm going to finish this by the end of June. And then I made a cleaning schedule. I tried to do little signs with little hanging chains for daily, weekly, monthly, annually, and quarterly. And then in June cleaning, I know this black behind, but I don't know if it'll get in close enough to see it or not. Kinda, but it has the gray colored out because those are the days I'm going to do it. So it's just real subtle. But every day I'm going to do this. This is the full month. And then I laid out for June my time tracker because I liked it on one page instead of having it on a different page. That way I can see, you know, where my time is going all at once. And then I have my self-care sheet. Do I follow my routine? How is my eating? My activity level, my mood, my sleep. I did get this from Carabins from Boho Berry. And I don't know what I was doing with the moons. Like, I don't know why I'm tracking the moon. Honestly, I don't know much about it. Maybe I should learn. Then my June reads. And then I started calling it my moody mandala. So I need to do the circles for that. And then just today, I decided I'm tired of my closets. Kind of goes with my spring cleaning spread. Tired of my closets looking like a disaster. So I drew, you know, the 3 shelves I have in my laundry room and what I'm going to put on them. And then my linen closet and my front hall closet. And then as I read books or anything, that's what goes in here. It's just, it's more of a journal than, so it's a bullet journal without the bullets. So those what I use. I have one of every color right now. I'm excited to get into the purple one, so the yellow one, it just gets dirty and smudgy and icky. So that's how I use these notebooks, just as planning, brain dump, journals, thoughts, things I'm writing, things I'm working on, projects, ideas. So there's many different ways. I don't bullet journal, but I do use these. So I hope that was informative and you enjoyed it, and I will see you in a couple days with another video. Bye!